Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm happy to be putting out another video talking about books. It's my favorite thing. I have this YouTube channel, I have TikTok, and I just started a bookstagram as well, and the account is at briannawreads. So please give me a follow there. That way you can see in real time what I'm reading, what I'm talking about, how I'm feeling while I'm reading these books. Sometimes when I'm making these videos after the fact, I don't get my emotion out as much as I like I do when I just finish a book. You know, it's kind of a different vibe. This is kind of a trend I've been seeing on TikTok, and I made a video on TikTok about this as well. But I wanted to go over my top 5 books for quarter 1. I have a goal for myself to read 45 books this year, and I need to increase it because so far I've read 23 books, so I definitely think I'm going to hit that 45 book mark sooner than I anticipated. It was kind of hard to pick a top 5 for so far that I've read this year. I could pick a couple of series and that could easily be like my top 5 books, but I tried to break it down. I tried to really think about how I felt while I was reading the book, how I felt after reading the book, and those are kind of the vibes I'm going off of for my top 5 books. So I read ACOTAR this year, and I could pick that whole series probably as my top 5 books if I wanted to, but I only let myself choose one, and I ended up choosing A Court of Silver Flames. I know there's a lot of people that don't necessarily love this book, but this one just hit for me. It just really resonated. It was hard for me to choose between this and A Court of Wings and Ruin because I absolutely devoured that book as well, but this one came out on top. I just loved Nesta's story. I really did. I loved everything about it. The ending of this book had me in so many tears. I have a sister, so this really resonated in that way. And just watching someone kind of overcome their challenges, their struggles, their traumas, and building into the person that they want to be, finding, you know, a way to believe in themselves and to trust other people. I just thought this was written perfectly. And I feel wrong not picking a book from Feyre's point of view, and because I love her and Rhys so much, but this one just left me feeling different. And that's why I think I would choose this one as my favorite in the ACOTAR series, but also as a top 5 read that I've had this year. If you follow my YouTube, if you follow me on TikTok, you know I'm really big into the Magnolia Parks universe as well. So obviously we have some books from there. I ended up choosing Daisy Hates the Great Undoing and Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home, which I love about this book. One of them being the character development, the way we see Christian in this book, the way we see Daisy Hates. Don't even get me started on Julian Hates because I think I kind of fell in love with that man. Now, I was really hooked on these people after the first Daisy Hates book, and this one just made me hooked to them even more. I think about them all the time, and I'm just rooting for all of them individually because all 3 of them deserve love and they deserve happiness, and that's truly how I feel. But I just love the plot of Daisy Hates' story. It is so good. Along with Julian and Christian, I just love these books, and like I said, they grow so much as people in this one, and you just learn so much about them, and I can't say enough about it. I absolutely devoured this book, and I love it. Easily a top 5 read so far this year. I have Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home. You learn so much more about her and BJ in this book than you do in the first book. In the first book, I feel like you're just kind of like, what is going on? Why do these people act like this? Why are they so terrible? You learn a lot more here. You learn so much more here. This is the middle ground book for Magnolia and BJ because you have the first book, then this one, and then you have the last one. And I think this is my favorite in their storyline. Like I said, you learn so much more. You come to respect them a lot more, understand them a lot more. And the ending, just wait. If you haven't read, I mean, talk about cliffhangers. Jessa Hastings loves to leave you on those cliffhangers, and the worst thing is you don't even go right back into the storyline. You have to read the next person. So it's just, it leaves you feeling crazy. I'm obsessed with Magnolia Parks universe. We all know that, but like I said, these are my top 2. I really enjoyed learning more about BJ and Magnolia in this book, gaining a lot more insight to who they are, which I think was necessary because I felt like Daisy Hates' story after her first book had way more of a storyline than the first book of this one did. So this one really solidified my love for BJ and Magnolia. The next book, these characters live rent-free in my head. When I say I think about them all the time, I think about them all the time. We have Powerless. Kai and Peyton, yeah, I'm obsessed with them. When this second book comes out, the internet will be going crazy. Like, I'm just anticipating it. We're all anticipating it. This book has everything. slow burn chemistry, enemies to lovers to we don't know, Hunger Games-esque vibes, kind of. This one I think is better. I like this way better than I like the Hunger Games, but I know a lot of people make that comparison. You have fantasy, you have magic, you have love, you have kind of war. I don't know. Everything about this is perfection. This book up, you guys, I ate it up along with everyone else. Like if you're on Book Talk, you know, I feel like you've probably already read this, but she did fantastic with this book. The vibes were there and I absolutely loved it. I've never read a slow burn like this. I mean, it just makes you go crazy. And then the last top 5 books so far of the year, I feel a little rash making this decision considering I just finished this book. But I'm going with Throne of Glass. Oh, it only gets better from here, but I thoroughly enjoyed this book, you guys. And I loved Court of Thorns and Roses too. And I'm like, there's no way it's gonna get better than this. Obviously, I was wrong. I ate my words. I'm gonna eat my words about this. But I thought this book was great. I was in it. I was intrigued. Selena had me invested in the story. I'm still very invested. I can't wait to read the next book. Now, I did read Assassin's Blade first, so technically this is my second book in the series. But if people start with this, I get how they're like, I'm hooked, I'm in, because that's how I feel now. After I read Assassin's Blade, I didn't feel that way. I do after reading this one. It is so good. I am very intrigued to see what happens next, who she kind of has in her corner, who ends up not in her corner, who the love interest is. I have no idea. I have no idea where this is going to go, and that's what's so exciting for me, and that's what makes it a 5-star read for me. The vibes were there. I was interested the whole time, and like I said, it's a little bit of a rash decision, but we're putting this in the top 5 reads of the year so far. Like, I have a really good mix here. I have fantasy, non-fantasy. I don't even know what you'd call Magnolia Parks, but I just love all of these so far. They're all holding a very special place in my heart. I have so many more exciting books to come for the year, so I can't wait to see what Q2 brings. But we're starting off Q1 strong. These are some really good 5-star reads for me, and I can't wait to see what we have in store. Comment, subscribe, keep following me on my book journey. I would love to be a part of yours. And then remember, go follow me on my new bookstagram at briannawreads. I have like 1 follower right now, which is totally fine, but let's see if we can get some more.